Today we're talking about the top 3 neighborhoods in Renton, Washington. Now these are my personal favorites. They're not the richest areas, but I love it because for me it has been home for 8 years, right before we bought our place over closer to Covington, Washington. Now I'm standing in front of the iconic Valley Medical Center, and Valley Medical Center provides many jobs for the locals here in Renton, Washington. Many people move from out of state to work over at Valley Medical. I had a client who reached out to me last year from Florida who was considering moving up here, and she had a job offer from Valley Medical Center. Now we are in the Benson Hill area, and what's awesome about living in Benson Hill, because like I said, I lived here for 8 years, is your proximity to all of the freeways. You have I-5, 405, and 167 all here within maybe a 10-15 minute drive of each other. If you live here literally down the street, you have 167, which takes you up to 405 and I-5 as well. So very close proximity to any of the major freeways that take you all the way up to Seattle or down south to Portland if that's where you want to go. Now we are just up the hill from Candor Coffee Shop. Candor Coffee Shop is one of the most popular places around here. And just next door to there is a place called Stop for Nails. And men out there, all I do is pedicures, I promise, nothing else. But there's nothing as good as getting a nice, good pedicure with your wife out on a date. They massage your feet for like 50 minutes. I can do some work at the laptop. One of the best places around here, honestly. I go there every time my wife essentially needs to go there. But Candor Coffee Shop, let's get back to that. They have absolutely the best avocado toast sandwiches. These things have some acidity to them, and they're really, really good, and amazing coffee as well. Candor Coffee Shop is a favorite among the locals here in Renton, Washington. Now, if you go back up the hill towards Cascade, which is another neighborhood, that's essentially where I had lived for about 8 to 9 years. You have 3 popular schools here. You have Cascade Elementary School, which actually comes in at about a C rating. You have Benson Middle School, which comes in at a C rating as well. And then you have Lindbergh High School, which comes in at a B rating. So essentially, if you live in the Benson area or the Cascade area, these 3 schools are where your kids are going to go. And when we lived near Cascade, we actually went over to Cascade Elementary Park over there, and all the kids from the neighborhood go over there during the summers. That place is packed. There's a gentleman usually out there flying his remote control airplanes on the huge field. There's also the new community center that just went up there in the last year, I believe. When we were moving, they just started building it. Benson Hill is being revitalized, and a new life is coming in, new businesses, and there is still some more work to do, but it's definitely one of the top places that I would consider living for future growth and just for the current benefits as well. You also have the Benson Shopping Center over here, where you have Fred Meyer, you have Just Pokey, you have a few tire shops if you need, you have Domino's across the street. If you live in Benson, this is where you're probably gonna go to do all of your grocery shopping. Now, if you want some furniture shopping or to do some clothing shopping, you have IKEA across from Valley Medical as well. And the South Center Shopping Mall is not too far from here as well, maybe about a 10-15 minute drive. Now, homes in Benson Hill will go anywhere from $500,000 to $700,000, depending on the style of the home. There are a lot of new homes being built in Benson Hill. Those will go in the 800s, 900s, and up. Now, if you're not looking to buy anything, but you want to rent in the meantime, Avaya Trails is actually a great place to rent. There's a wonderful community of people there. That's what I loved about it. When we sold our first house, and between moving into our second house, we rented over there for a while. Except the thing that really sucks is the parking. They did not account for that. There's 190 apartments. And parking spaces, I think they had 90 dedicated spaces, and the rest were on the street. But what I do love about Avaya Trails is the cute community garden they have. They have an amazing playground as well. And we got to know a lot of people over there who still live there, and we still communicate with them. The community is awesome. The people are wonderful. We never really had any problems, except the parking. So, like I said, Benson Hill comes in as a personal favorite of mine just because it's so close to home. But let's head out to our next stop, stop number 2, and we're going to be looking at downtown Renton. And now we are at our second stop of the day, which is downtown Renton. Now, downtown Renton holds a place near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love it. It's a historic part of Renton. Homes here were built in the early 1900s, most of them. And they have been remodeled since then, and new places have been going up. just like this massive apartment complex. I think there's probably like 70 units here from what I can see. This apartment complex started construction just about a year and a half or so ago, and it's already up with, I believe, new people moving in sometime this year. And right across this apartment complex is where the Home Depot is. Now, Home Depot is also a brand new development here in downtown Renton. Our closest one before was about 15 minutes drive from here near South Center Mall. Right here in this parking lot at Home Depot, there used to be a Sam's Club, but it was closed down for probably a good 3 to 4 years before Home Depot moved in. Literally just a block from here is City Hall. And over down that way, you guys will see a few big white block buildings. They're typically used as a commercial business zone. But one of the things that's happening in Renton, I saw about a year and a half ago, I looked on the city site, and they were thinking of turning these buildings into apartments, affordable living, with about 3,000 people that are expected to move here. Now, God only knows whether those plans will actually go through or not, but the whole point of what I'm saying is downtown Renton and Renton as a whole is developing into a thriving community. Now, one of the hotspots here in downtown Renton that I absolutely love is Boon Boona Coffee. They have some amazing coffee that comes from Ethiopia. They roast it right there and then on the spot. They also have a little section where vendors can come in and showcase their businesses. Right by Boon Boona, you have a place called Macadon. Now, a good friend of mine and fellow realtor David, his brother owns that shop, and you have some of the best macaroons that God ever allowed man to create. You can pick up an assortment of about 12 of them for right about $30 or so, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. They have a little place for you to sit down and eat as well. One of the best places here in downtown Renton. And right across the street from there, you have a pho place, which is also really good. Downtown Renton has no shortage of restaurants, eateries, coffee shops, and more. Now, by far, the most iconic place in downtown Renton is Melrose Grill. Melrose Grill, the building, has been here since the early 1900s. And at Melrose Grill, you have some of the best food out there. Now, guys, I've been to high-end restaurants before where you drop $500-600 for dinner. Here, you're gonna drop probably about $80 a person. You can get yourself a nice 16-ounce ribeye. They also have some other food as well, not just steak. They have some king crab legs if that's your thing. They have some prawns as well. They have some pork and a lot of amazing sides. This place is a must-go-to whether you're visiting or living here. I've probably been there, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in the last maybe 2 years. I try not to go there too often to where I'm gonna get sick of it, but honestly, I don't know if that's possible. Really, really, really good food. Now, the homes here in downtown Renton, a lot of them, like I mentioned, were built in the early 1900s. So it's older, historic looking homes. Some of them have been remodeled. Some of them are still original. And price points vary here. They can go from as low as $550,000 or so, as high as $800,000-900,000, depending on what type of home you have. When I got married and moved up here, most homes in downtown Renton were about $200,000 to $300,000. Since then, in the last few years, one of the things the city has adopted is they are pushing higher density zoning. So if you have a lot in downtown Renton with a street in front and an alley in the back, 9 times out of 10 you can build what we call a dadu in the back, a detached accessory dwelling unit, which will probably cost you about $250,000 or so. And the city of Renton actually has multiple plans that they already have approved for you to build. This process can be easily streamlined through City Hall, which, like I said, is right across the street from here. And it's by far one of the best opportunities for a homeowner if you're looking to live here in downtown Renton. That's the type of lot and property that I would look out for. And for our last stop of the day, we're going just 2-3 minutes away up Renton Hill, where I'm going to be showcasing yet another neighborhood for you to consider moving to if you're looking to move to Washington State. And now for our last stop of the day, we are in the historic Renton Hill neighborhood. Now, Renton Hill is known for views. Around here, you can see the Olympics, the gorgeous downtown Renton. You can see planes taking off because you have the local airport here in Renton as well. It's an amazing place for you to live. Just a few minutes walk from here, you have Philip Arnold Park. Now, over there, you have basketball courts, tennis courts, and back in the day when I just met my wife, she had some friends over here. We would always hang out there. It's a just brings back memories, but just nothing special about the park, but you have a park. So if you live here, it's a great place for you to take out your dogs on a walk, take out your kids on a walk, whatever it may be. Now, a while back, you had some brand new homes here that were built, and I believe they sold at about $1 million. And today, currently, for a house that would go up in this neighborhood, which houses here come up rarely, you could expect to pay somewhere around $700,000 to start and going up from there. The house right behind me on the corner here, my clients Jordan and Kate bought it way back when I just started out being a realtor in 2015, 2016. And they had bought it back then for about $350,000. Now a place like this would probably go for somewhere around the $650,000 mark. Now, one of the things I didn't mention in the previous segment is just a few minutes from here, you have Topgolf in Renton, which went up just a few years ago, the most popular place for people to visit all the way coming from Bellevue, Seattle. This is the only Topgolf location we have, and it's here smack in the middle of what we call the Landing. The Landing is the shopping center over here. You have Target, Ross, Marshalls. You had Google over there across the street from the Landing as well. You have Lake Washington and Coolon Beach Park over there. You have the theaters there as well, and many good places for you to eat. And a lot of people who live in Renton, they happen to work over at Boeing, because we have Boeing in downtown Renton as well. In fact, my renter works for Boeing. My photographer that I use for real estate during his regular job, he works for Boeing. So Boeing supplies a lot of the jobs here for the locals and beyond. So with that, guys, I want to say, if you're looking to move to the Washington area, here at Seattle Living 101, we are the ultimate guide to Washington real estate. So if you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay up to date on the Seattle lifestyle and everything that Washington State has to offer. I'll see you in the next video.